Welcome everybody to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my final thoughts on the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta because recently it came to an end, and I'm very sad about that because even though I played as much as I could in my free time, unfortunately I still don't feel like I played enough. Not that I didn't get a feel for the game or make, a good judgment on it, but I really wish I could have played more, man. This shit was actually fun. And in case you guys aren't already able to tell, I had a good time with this beta. And no, in case you guys are wondering, I was not paid in any sort of way whatsoever by Activision or anybody to promote this game. This is just my own personal opinion, so take it for what it is. A lot of people really did not like this beta, but I'm the type of person who wants to form his own opinion on things. I don't want to just go with the crowd mentality because I just don't like people who do that. I'm not a fan of people who hate on something because a vast majority of people hate on it. I feel like you should form your own opinions and you should stand by what you think. So today I'm going against the grain a little bit by talking about this game and the fact that I actually enjoyed it. I would say that 95% of this game was really enjoyable to me. I had a lot of fun. I'm gonna be going over a few points that I liked, keep it kind of brief, but first of all, the maps. I mentioned this before, but I personally love the maps, and a lot of people fucking hate them. They say that it reminds them of Call of Duty Ghosts. They're way too sporadic and random and not three-lane designs, but that's exactly what I like. Maybe a few years ago I wouldn't have liked map designs like this, but ever since Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and Call of Duty World War II with these basic three-lane designs that got so repetitive so quickly, I've started to appreciate maps like this a lot more. Ones that are open and have a lot of variety in terms of playstyle. I can use a sniper, I can use an SMG, I can use a shotgun, and there are areas of the map that will accustom me to that sort of playstyle. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't love every single map, but I would say for how many maps we got, maybe there was one that I wasn't like a huge fan of, but I still found playable, and that was the map with the cave on it. I don't exactly remember the name of it, but I didn't enjoy that map as much as I enjoyed other maps. But when it comes to every other one in the game that we got to experience, I liked all of them. And people say, oh, there's too many windows, too many sightlines. I just think this is something that we're gonna have to adapt to. Personally, I didn't have a problem with that. Yeah, I did feel like I got shot out of places that I didn't expect a few times, but I just chalk that up to the fact that I don't know the maps perfectly. But once we get a lot more experience with these maps, then we will know what sight lines to cover and what power positions we need to make sure we look at before we pass through a position. In terms of the gunplay, I really loved it. The class customization is really fucking good. I understand that some people are mad that it's not the pick 10 system, but I'm completely fine with taking a little bit of a break from the pick 10 system because we've had it so much over these last few titles. I'm actually a really huge fan of this system. It's a little more like the traditional way of creating classes like it was in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, for example, but with a little bit more customization in the sense that we have like different loadouts we can use, and we can add a lot more attachments on our weapons, which I'm a huge fan of. You can put 5 attachments on a weapon, and there are so many attachments to choose from that have different pros and cons, and you can really tweak a weapon perfectly depending on your playstyle. I just think it's phenomenal. I honestly, personally, I think it's one of the best class customizations we've had ever in Call of Duty. I'm briefly gonna mention the connection in this game. I didn't have any problems whatsoever with connection. I was constantly playing on really good ping. If you guys are watching this gameplay, I'm playing on PC. At the moment, I am running anywhere from 9 milliseconds to 15 milliseconds. I mean, in terms of lag, there really wasn't that much. The way the game feels, I'm a huge fan of the new engine. I think it feels nice. I don't think it feels clunky. Maybe at times it does, but as I said in previous videos, overall I'm a fan of it. Some people are saying that the kill streaks are a little bit too weak, and I do agree with this. I feel like some of the kill streaks can be buffed a little bit, specifically the chopper gunner. The fact that you can shoot it down with your gun so fast is a little bit underwhelming. However, I'm sure that these things will be changed for the full game, or when when the full game comes out, we'll ask for buffs, and hopefully that is delivered. But overall, when we're talking about the kill streaks in their full potential, I think they're a load of fun. I don't think they're too difficult to obtain, and I really like them. The game modes that we got to experience were some traditional game modes like Team Deathmatch, Domination, Headquarters, but there was also a game mode that we got to experience for the first time in the beta, which was 32 versus 32 Ground War. And I didn't get as much playtime on this as I would have liked to, but based off of the amount of time that I did get, I loved it. I thought it was one of the most innovative game modes Call of Duty ever brought to the table. And a lot of people will say, oh, they're copying Battlefield. As I said in my previous video, I don't give a shit if they're copying other games. If it's good, it's good. Yeah, it's not exactly original or anything, but if it works, then why are people complaining? I really like the 32 versus 32 Ground War game mode. I think it's a bunch of chaos. I think it offers the most variety in terms of gameplay out of any map in the game, and that's saying a lot because I already like the maps to begin with. Another thing that I want to mention about this game is the colors. I do think they are just a tad bit washed out and they could be a little bit more vibrant, but I'm hoping that's something that they're going to change for the full game, and if they don't, it's whatever. I don't think it'll be the end of the world if the game stays the way it looks. Another thing I want to mention is skill-based matchmaking. A lot of people are talking about this at the moment, and personally, what side am I on when it comes to skill-based matchmaking? I watched Drifter's video, and I'm on his side. I do think that people use skill-based matchmaking as just an excuse. If they do badly, they just blame it on skill-based matchmaking. One person that I noticed is doing this a lot is 402 Thunder, and in my last video I did mention him, and I'm not throwing shots again, but I just think people are complaining a little bit too much, and people want a black and white answer, whether there is skill-based matchmaking or there isn't, and the answer is yes, there probably is skill-based matchmaking, but it is not as strong as people will make you believe it is. It is way overstated how strong skill-based matchmaking is in this game. There is probably a very small portion of the community that is protected, who are new to the game, who may have never picked up a controller in their life, who may or may not be disabled, who are protected. You know, these really, really bad players obviously have their own pool. But in terms of the more skilled players, they can still come across average players to below average players. If skill-based matchmaking was as strong as some people say, then it would be impossible for anybody to have like a 2, 3, or 4 KD, because everybody would average out at 1 because they would only come across people of the same skill as them. Unless everybody has a 1 KD, I am not for a second going to believe that skill-based matchmaking is extremely strong in this game. There probably are some broad and wide brackets of skill that are in the game, but I personally believe that they are just there to protect some of the really bad players. I mean, personally, coming from experience, I felt that the lobbies were kind of random. Sometimes I'd come across really good players, sometimes I'd come across really bad players. It didn't really feel like it had anything to do with my own personal skill, but a lot of people die in just completely normal ways, and the first thing they do is blame skill-based matchmaking. For example, somebody will run down a hallway blindly, and there'll be someone waiting for them, aim down sights, and they'll die to that player and claim it's skill-based matchmaking, as if it takes a lot of skill to just play a little bit more defensively. What, were you supposed to win that gunfight because you were less prepared than the other player? Then you're just compensating for bad players and you're trying to appeal to them. And then people will complain, oh, this game accommodates for bad players. Listen, if somebody is better than you, you should just be able to own up to it. And I get it, we all rage, we all get mad, but people will automatically blame skill-based matchmaking when they just died and there was just something better they could have done in that situation. Overall, I want to wrap this video up by just saying that I had fun with this beta. I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry that a lot of the community didn't see what I saw, but I just had a blast, man. This is the most fun I've had with Call of Duty in such a long time. I would go as far as to say that this is probably the best Call of Duty since Black Ops 2. And I know that's a really bold statement and a lot of people won't agree with me, but that's fine. It's just my opinion. I am really looking forward to the full launch of this game. I hope it's good. I hope they don't ruin it with microtransactions. And I hope that the rest of the community can come around and come to enjoy and appreciate it. Because I really don't want to be the only one who enjoys this game. I am really looking forward to this game. 25th of October. We're 1 month away. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how the rest of this game's life cycle pans out. And with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you smack the like button. If you want to stay up to date on my content, please be sure to subscribe. I'll have my last video in the corner. If you haven't checked that out already, definitely make sure to check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.